What's up, pro wrestling fans, and welcome back to Squared Circle Speak. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is Nathan, and we have a jam-packed show, so we're not going to waste much time on the intro today. We are going to get right into this. This is our AEW review. 4 shows they had this weekend, including an ROH pay-per-view, which we are not going to talk about. They had 5 shows over the course of 4 days.
Yeah, for a total of, I believe it was 11 hours.
Yeah. Plus, they did
That's
shit San Diego Comic Con too. So, like, Jesus Christ. So, we want to go through 3 big shows. We had Royal Rampage, Blood and Guts, Collision, and Battle of the Belts this week. So, we're not going to go too in depth on some of this stuff. We're going to hit the highlights and then give our thoughts on a few things going on in the world of AEW. Let's start with Blood and Guts. The yearly shit that we do every fucking year for no reason at all. We'll get to that later. First show kicked off with MJF, and he introduced the new championship. This title has now undergone 3 name changes in the course of its time.
Oh, yes. Okay. Go ahead, and I got my thoughts.
Okay, so he trashed the international championship, and now he is it's now the American championship. This belt looks fucking disgusting. I hate this title. It looks awful. I don't like it. You can give your thoughts, but I hate the way this fucking belt looks.
Okay. So here's the thing. So I'm seeing a lot of this online about this belt, about how it's ugly. They don't like how it looks. And it's also, like you said, it's a third name change, all that stuff. But here's the thing. It's MJF. He made it gaudy and ugly on purpose.
Well, yeah, I get that.
He made it's just like when Lance Storm changed the United States title to the Canadian title in WCW. That's what this is. This is not permanent. This is, as soon as MJF loses this belt, it's going to go back to the international title.
It's just
for some reason people are losing that aspect of it. They forget that MJF is an over the top heel and doing all this shit just to get under people's skin.
No, and I completely get that, and I understand that's what's happening. It's just disgusting to look at. The fucking flag on the belt is just ugly, dude. I'm not a big fan of having designs on like the belt itself, the strap. And this just looks gross. I know it's supposed to look gross, and I get that, but it looks something straight out of like fucking 2K. Like, and all
that's what MJF goes for. Because remember his last when he won the AEW title, he had that ugly ass fucking strap on it too.
Yeah, I know this isn't going to be a permanent thing, but man, we're off to a rocking start with this show.
Yeah.
But then, he debuts the title. He's got his face. He dropped a flag. Then Will Ospreay comes out, and he says that he's got his rematch at Wembley, so it'll be Ospreay and MJF, which everyone kind of saw coming at Wembley. I don't know how I feel about that because, like I said, they did an hour-long match before. So, how do you top that now on pay-per-view? I guess we'll see where they go from there. All right. I don't know where they go, but we'll see. Chris Jericho and Minoru Suzuki. I ain't even going to talk about this match. Jericho won. This was fucking awful. Jericho was slower than Suzuki, and Suzuki's got him by like 20 years. Holy shit, this was bad. This almost made me turn it off. I skipped. I don't watch it live, and I skip forward because this was just. Ugh.
Yeah, this was a bad match.
Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida. This match was fun. It was fine. Britt Baker wins. Obviously, they're pushing her towards riding Mercedes. At the end of this, though, she finally made her debut, Nathan. Camille is finally here, and she's reduced to just being Mercedes Moné's manager. Or bodyguard.
Her bodyguard, yeah.
You waited this long to bring her, and this is what you do with her?
Yeah, it's kind of lame. Been done so many times.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you'd want to I don't know. I don't know why anybody would want to sign to a place, whether it be WWE or AEW, where you're getting a lesser role than you had at the other places.
She was the main focus of NWA. Like she was
Yeah.
the main person, not just women. Like she was the face of the NWA for a while there.
Yeah.
And now she's just here to do, which I assume is eventually going to do the whole Diesel Shawn Michaels thing where she's probably going to turn on her.
Yeah, but we
It,
just saw that with fucking.
exactly.
We just saw that with Mariah May. I
And
mean,
then Wardlow
literally.
did it with MJF. Like it, and that's what I'm saying about this company. Their storylines are all the same. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And I guarantee you that's where we're gonna go. Mercedes is gonna get a big head. She's gonna start bossing Camille around. Camille's not gonna take it. The fans are gonna be on her side, and she's gonna turn on her. And it's gonna be the same thing we have seen time and time and time again. Speaking of Mariah May, she beat some chick, and then afterwards, Storm came out and they fought. So then we had to Blood and Guts. I don't, Oh, my favorite match that has to happen. And it's not just Blood and Guts. It's War Games. It's Elimination Chamber. It's when they used to do Hell in a Cell. I don't like these big stipulation matches that happen just because it's the time of year for it to happen. And this felt like the same. If this felt rushed, this felt like we just need to do a Blood and Guts because we always do a Blood and Guts. And I don't know. I just didn't. I don't like it when these matches happen just because it needs to happen organically. Like the first NXT War Games was very organic when that happened,
Well,
and ever since then, everything's felt forced. And
I
I don't.
will give. I will give it this. They have been having, the Young Bucks and Okada being dicks, being in charge for a while, and this was like supposed to be AEW versus versus these guys, trying to get some revenge of them running, doing all their shit they've been doing. So there is that. They have been building it up,
Kind of, but
kind of.
anyway, this was your typical AEW Blood and Guts match. This was just an all-out blood fest as it always is. Now, the one thing here that garnered a lot of attention online, they had Jack Perry like
Tough to the cage.
handcuffed to the cage, and then Briscoe took a steel chair and smacked him in the head unprotected, which I don't give a shit if they shaved the chair down, which I don't even know what the fuck that means, but that's what everyone's been saying. I don't care if it was equivalent to getting hit with a cookie sheet, as QT Marshall said eloquently on Twitter today or the other day. It's fucking stupid. I don't. After the Crispin Wall thing, why are we still doing this shit? There,
Yeah.
there is no place in wrestling anymore for these unprotected chairs. Not even a chair shot, unprotected anything to the head. I don't. It doesn't need to happen anymore, and I don't care if it looked cool and sounded cool. You can get hit with a fucking plastic bottle and it could give you a concussion. Like, I don't get it. Why do they insist on doing it? They do it almost every fucking time they have one of these matches, and I just don't understand the appeal to this. I don't like it. I cringe so much, and then it's this and fucking fire. What is the deal with the fire in this shit?
I don't know, man.
They always every match ends the same. They try to threaten someone and put them on fire, and then that's how the match ends. And that's how this one
Yeah,
ended.
this one felt really. The ending was really weird because it's mainly because you know the people in this match, most of them, they haven't been produced by television before AEW for American television,
Yeah.
and the way they did this, basically, Darby Allin's asking him or telling him he's going to set him on fire, and then Matt Jackson's in the ring, and it was kind of drawn out the way they did it
Yeah.
until it, and then he finally said, "Yeah, we quit. Don't do. We'll give you a title match."
Yeah.
which I'm not even sure if that's what it was about, but okay.
They
So he
made
gives him
yeah,
the
they
title.
they made a match announcement to end this match. Like
Yeah,
it was so weird. And this, like I said, this was all whatever. They took a staple gun at one point, and there was staple and swerve, which was just ridiculous. Like, uh so much dumb shit in this match.
yeah,
I don't like these matches. They're just too overproduced, too much blood, too much stupid shit that should end a match, yet it doesn't. Like it's whatever. I mean, fucking Briscoe hit 4 J drillers in this match. Like, what are we doing?
yeah.
Uh yeah. So anyway, whatever. If this is your style of match, then you enjoyed this. I don't enjoy it. And again, I don't like when these matches feel forced. We do one every year. I don't think this should happen every single year. I think they should only happen when warranted, when you really have a feud that it needs it. This felt like it's the same with War Games. I will say it when the War Games pay per view comes up, when Survivor Series comes up. I'll say the same thing there. I'm not biased. I don't like that we have to do these matches every single year.
Yeah.
I think we need to happen. It's cool that it happens, but it doesn't need to be a yearly thing. And it's always at the same time. So it's like, I don't know. I don't like it. That was Dynamite. A one match show, basically. Obviously, when you have a blood and guts match on your paper on your show, it's gonna be like a
Yeah,
one.
it took up like an hour and 10 minutes or
Yeah.
something.
So then Rampage, Royal Rampage, their yearly, well, not really, battle royal thing. 4 guys in the ring started, 2 in each ring. And then entrants come and go. This was your typical battle royal. A bunch of people came in, a bunch of people no one cares about came in. You had Jeff Jarrett, Kyle O'Reilly, guys like that. And in the end, it was Darby and Claudio. Uh, and Darby wins. So Darby gets a title shot at Grand Slam, which is in September. So that's after Wembley. So now we're just got confusing because we got Daniel Bryan, who hasn't been on the show, but he's going to get a title shot at Wembley, apparently. And then we got Darby Allin, who just won this match, who's getting a title shot after that title shot.
Who also got a guaranteed title shot against Jack Perry for the TNT title.
Yeah,
So
wait a minute. I just never even realized that. I forgot that. Wait a minute. Yeah, what the fuck are we doing?
yeah, I don't know why. If it's not evident that Darby Allin is one of fucking Tony Khan's favorite wrestlers, I mean,
Yeah. Uh this show sucked after this. This match was not good either, honestly. It was okay. But when you have a 2 ring battle Royal Rumble style, it just gets confusing. After this show fell off a cliff. Chris Statlander beat Layla Gray about 2 moves. Lance Archer beat some dude about 2 moves. The Righteous, Private Party, the Outrunners, and the Don Callis family had a decent little 4-way tag match, but not a lot of time, and the Don Callis family won. This show was another week of Rampage just being an afterthought. They tried to make it worth something with this Royal Rampage match, but again, this show was not good this week. And that seems to be a weekly thing. And then we got Collision. I'll try to go quick. Orange Cassidy beat Johnny TB. Not a good match. Awkward spots. These two do not mesh well together at all. And this was just weird. It just, yeah, it didn't work. The Blackpool Combat Club beat Brian Cage, Lee Moriarty, and Lee Moriarty and Top Flight in we just saw a fatal 4-way tag team match. Now we got a triple threat tag team match.
oh boy.
You know, Blackpool Combat Club got the win after Yuta wins the match. Hologram was back again, and he took on the Beast Mortos. This is very, very, by the way, this is giving me Sin Cara vibes 100% here, because this dude's just wrestling luchadors. And so, like, he's wrestling guys who can make him look good. I want to see him wrestle someone that's not a luchador. This is Sin Cara vibes 100%. Because Sin Cara came in, only wrestled guys who could make him look good, but as soon as he started wrestling other people, he fucked up all the time.
Yeah, but this guy he's a veteran.
Well,
It's not like
so was Sin Cara.
okay, but this guy's wrestled American style wrestling though.
True, but I'm just saying though it's just starting off the same. I'm not saying he's going to be Sin Cara. I hope he's a lot better, but I don't know where this is heading. He's apparently he is a Collision exclusive. So every week we get to see him. I mean, this was just a match, no storytelling. This was a straight up lucha match. With not a lot of selling. So they did a Canadian like a destroyer on the apron and they kind of got right back up. So
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa beat some chick in a squash match. Again, I don't know why this needs to happen. And then the conglomeration were back as they took on the premier athletes and a 6-man tag. Obviously, the conglomeration wins. Again, this is what they're doing with Ishii. Woo!
Yeah.
Uh, Lance Archer took some guy we didn't even catch his name. Choke slam, hit his move over. Wow, cool. This is how they're building up Lance Archer because uh he's taking on Osprey on Dynamite next week. So we've got to have him beat people we don't even catch the names of. Yeah, that's gonna work. And then their main event of this evening was FTR versus MXM Collection, which you don't know who that is. That is Mace and Mansoor. Yeah, I wasn't
They
the main
should
event.
have a
I'm
different
sorry.
name. They should
Yeah,
have a different.
it was all right, but they're not that great in the ring. FTR win. And then we had the main event, sorry, was Pac and
Wait, time out.
Roosh.
Did you say FTR?
FTR, yeah, they're back.
What the?
No, they're just wrestling. They just wrestled this match randomly.
Uh, uh, you're not gonna build them up. It's coming back. Like he came back from a injury that I thought they were gonna be out a lot longer. Like what the fuck? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
And your main event was Pac versus Leo Rush. Yeah. Leo Rush in the main event. Uh Decent little match. I mean, this is a Leo Rush match, so it's gonna be quick. Uh and then he went for his top rope move. Pac got the knees up, hits him with the lariats, and then hits the brutalizer. So Collision was all right. Um, I don't know, man. Then we had Battle of the Belts, which I didn't even know was happening. I was literally on Facebook on Saturday night, and it said, "Hey, we got 3 hours of AEW tonight," and I was like, "Oh, cool." I had no idea Battle of the Belts was even this show was even happening. They didn't. I don't think they even mentioned it at all during the week, and if they did, it was very quick, and I missed it. They did not build this up at all. It was a IAW Battle of the Belts with no AEW championships on the line.
yeah. That I just don't understand why there's no advertising for these things. Why did he do a Ring of Honor pay per view right next to Rampage, taking viewers away from
His own
one
show.
of those shows? It just makes zero sense. Why
Yeah,
book all of this at the same time?
I have no idea, man. And again, this show, and a lot of people, this is I'm not going to go on a tangent here, but this is their version of the, Clash of the Champions, right? But I think the problem is Clash of the Champions, if you remember them, they were built up for weeks and sometimes months. They would build up to Clash of the Champions shows. And it was like, we're going to have this big title match at the Clash. This shit just happens randomly and never any real big implications of anything happening on these shows.
Right.
It's just eliminator matches and maybe a title match from ROH or CMLL or a title that doesn't really matter. That's what these shows have become. And I don't get it. It's just another show where they just put random matches on. Anyway, Taya Valkyrie took on Tony Storm in an AEW Women's World Championship eliminator. I'll give you one guess who won this match. Tony Storm won. I guess this was fine, but putting her in the ring with Taya, who is mostly an ROH wrestler, who the AEW audience, the casuals, if they did watch this, have no idea who the fuck she was, probably because, she's never on AEW television. Doesn't make much sense to me to try to build momentum for Tony Storm towards Mariah May when they're both wrestling people who aren't even in the fucking company, really.
Right.
Then we had another eliminator match as Willow Nightingale took on Deonna Purrazzo. This was a CMLL Women's World Championship eliminator. Now, why the fuck would I care? Not saying anything bad about CMLL, but why is this on an AEW Battle of the Belts? Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch this match if Deonna Purrazzo wins and gets a title shot. Like, it doesn't, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't get why, where has Deonna Prazo been anyway?
I probably on ROH.
Most likely.
This got stupid at the end. This was a decent match, but then Taya Valkyrie came out again. She tried to help Deonna win, but then Thunder Rosa came out, took off Taya, and then Willow gets the win. Taya Valkyrie all over the show. Your main event for the ROH World Six-Man Championship, which haven't been talked about in months. They had a random six-man tag team match at the ROH pay-per-view on Friday, and then the winners of that took on the Kingdom to become the champions. I don't know why the Kingdom just automatically got into this match. I don't know the story here. It was Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs versus the Kingdom. Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs get the win
Yeah,
with some shenanigans. So great.
now Justin Rose gets his first AEW title technically, even though it's a Ring of Honor title.
Yeah. They won with a little bit of shenanigans, so they couldn't even beat them clean. Bennett grabbed the belt. And he hit Dustin with a cowbell. Dustin kicked out. Shibata came out, put the claw on Taven, and then the Von Erichs won and Dustin Rhodes. So they couldn't even win clean. Like you couldn't even have them beat them clean. You had to have some outside interference to help the faces win.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out. They were the faces.
Messed up, man.
What a week. And all these shows, obviously, I think there was a little bit of fatigue on the part of fans because Collision only did about 382,000 and then Battle of the Belts did 300,000. I think there was too much wrestling this week and no one watched these shows. It's down. Last week they did 400 and some thousand. It was down almost 100,000 viewers this week.
Right.
I think that's what happens when you have 18 shows in a week of wrestling.
A little much, man.
I think it was a lot of burnout going into Saturday, and they're like, yeah, we had the ROH pay-per-view for 5 hours the night before. We're not going to watch these shows. What a week, man. Good Lord. We do have some news, though, regarding AEW real quick. Ray Phoenix's contract's reportedly set to expire, which I think we all kind of figured if Penta's contract was up, I think we kind of figured Phoenix's contract would be up at the same time. Who knows where they're going to end up? Obviously, there was reports that there is interest from WWE for Penta. I would assume Phoenix would have interest as well. He is younger than Penta. And so I would assume that WWE would have interest in Phoenix.
Reported were that they still even though he's older, they had interest in Penta too.
Yeah, I mean, you could bring them in as a tag team, revitalize that tag team division, especially if they're bringing in the Motor City Machine Guns. You bring in them to be a pretty good tag division. So obviously AEW is going to want to keep them. So we'll see exactly where they end up.
So, did you talk about Jose?
The guy,
Jose,
the translator.
The translator.
No.
So supposedly, he said tick 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 tock tock some shit like that, and basically hinting at that he's going somewhere, and then you also like you have this going on too. So I don't know if that intertwines. I don't know if maybe you bring him in to be their mouthpiece because they speak a little English, but not as good
I
as.
think Phoenix speaks better English than Penta, so
Yeah, but you could bring him in as their manager. I don't know.
You know. Also, uh, let's see here. We also have reportedly AEW is receiving a $1 million tax credit from the state of Ohio, which is many people thinking that that means a big pay-per-view is going to be going to Ohio at some point. So, or they're going to do what they're doing in Texas, where they're going to have a whole bunch of shows in one area, like they're doing right now in Texas for the Collision and ROH taping. So,
Right.
Ohio, man, they gave a 1.6 million tax credit to WWE for SummerSlam. So, hey, they're doing it for AEW. They're equal opportunity. And so we'll see what happens. I don't know. That doesn't mean they're going to get a pay-per-view. It could just mean that they're going to go there after this taping in Texas is over, that they'll go to Ohio and do that, which I think I like. I like that they do that for Collision. It makes it feel like a different show. It may make it feel like a second show, like a lower show because it's in a small arena, but at least you're doing it in the same arena. It's kind of like NXT where you got the same crowd coming. They're into it. I like these intimate crowds. I think they're better than the large arenas,
Right.
especially when you're half filling up the large arenas. So,
Yeah.
but I think that's about all the news this week. It was a lot of wrestling this week for AEW. Um, Brian Danielson has filed a trademark. Yes, yes, yes. So who knows what that means?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Who knows what that means? Do you think he's gonna win this title, Ryan? I don't think so, but
I mean,
it,
according to some report I saw, his contract's like up.
yeah.
Like he's just gonna do this one final match. So I don't know. I doubt it. I bet he will. I doubt. I mean, unless they give it to him, then he retires,
Yeah.
which would be dumb because then you're gonna have another tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I think he loses. Uh, but yeah, I think that's. I think Okay, he's not even on. Like, it's hard to put the title on him when he's not even on the fucking show any week. Like, they can't even build this match up because Brian Danielson's never even there. So I don't know. I would love Swerve to win, hold on to it for a long time. I mean, not a long time, but a while. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do if he resigns with AEW, if he just stops wrestling altogether, which I think he should do. I think he should probably just retire.
I agree. I think he's done just about everything he can do. I don't really see a reason to keep going.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna keep going. He's gonna end up freaking uh he ain't gonna be there for his kids. He's gonna be in a freaking wheelchair. He's gotten a second career here when his career should have ended, and he's got a second life. I think you go out in the sunset with a big show in Wembley, you main event it, and then you walk away and get in wrestling some other way, train or be a backstage person. But I don't want to see him in the ring anymore, honestly. Oh, we do another contract. Daniel Garcia's contract is coming up soon. That is why they had MJF write him out because they don't know if he's going to resign or not.
Right.
According to the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Garcia has not only hasn't re-signed with AEW, but is considering taking offers elsewhere, including WWE.
Oh, we'll see. I know you don't like Garcia that much, but
I
we'll see
didn't.
if he.
I didn't like him. Well, I didn't like any gimmick he had. He's decent in the ring, but when he started doing the dancing thing, it threw me off. And then when he was like a heel trying to be like a cocky heel, he couldn't pull that off either. So like, I think he does need to go somewhere that can kind of teach him a little bit about acting and getting a good character behind him because he's not getting that in AEW. And I don't. He might stick around, but they said they wrote him off in the same way. I think it was the same way they kind of did Ricochet, where it's like if he does end up signing, he's got a built-in angle when he comes back. But if he leaves, well, we wrote him off. So,
Right. Right.
but we'll see what happens with Daniel Garcia. I don't know for sure exactly when his contract's up, but it is up soon. So we could have some movers and shakers coming up here in the near future between WWE and AEW. So could get very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode of AEW Speak. Oh wait, before we go, Ryan, we had a ton of shows this week. Which one was your favorite?
Oh Jesus Christ! Well, it definitely wasn't Rampage, Collision, or Battle of the Belt. So
Right. NXT wasn't that great either this week.
neither was SmackDown really.
Yeah, SmackDown was kind of blah.
Well,
Well, a lot of people on SmackDown were in Japan.
yeah, and SmackDown did the Gauntlet match, so it kind of
Yeah.
bogged that down. And then Rampage was bogged down by just one match. So I think it kind of makes it that's got to be Raw, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
I mean, the other shows all had like one match take up half the time, so like it was like, eh. I mean, yeah, SmackDown had like three matches. Rampage only had, or Dynamite only had like three matches. So yeah, I think Raw's the default winner, and it's not like Raw was great, but
Yeah, this week's wrestling wasn't that great, which is sad because we're on our way to SummerSlam, and and we AEW had all these shows, and it's like maybe it could have been a good week of wrestling, and it was kind of a letdown.
I think I was just this past week of wrestling kind of bogged me down to the point where like almost made me like it was like too much, and I was like, there's just too much on right now, and I like
Yeah.
uh it's a good thing we don't review other shows because I think I couldn't handle it.
Oh, there's no way, man. There's so much. All right. So yeah, so if you like this episode of AEW Speak, hit the like button and subscribe so you can hear more AEW Speak. And if you hit the notification bell, you can be notified anytime we upload another episode of AEW Speak. And we will see you on the next one where we got two more episodes this week, one with our SummerSlam predictions and another where we're going to talk about some Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame's been in the news, so we're gonna do a little special Hall of Fame where we're gonna be kind of discussing whether certain wrestlers are gonna be Hall of Famers. So that should be pretty fun.
Current wrestlers.
Current wrestlers.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that next time on Squared Circle Speak.